Exciting talk back again, and today I'm delighted to be joined by Cameron Party Hardy ahead of his long-awaited return at the cage at Made for the Cage on December. Cam, it's been a long time coming, mate, but you're eventually back.
I am eventually back, mate. It's took some time getting here, but finally the time's going to come.
How hard's that been for you? Look, it's what, nearly 2 years, just over 2 years it'll be that you've been out of the cage.
I think it'll be nearly 2.5 years. I think it'll be.
What's that sort of been like for you then, that journey back to the cage?
Mate, mentally and physically, it has been a really tough road because obviously I had torn my ACL. That took 8 months to get the surgery, and it took 9 months of rehab. Oh, is it gone?
Your camera's just for over there. Go.
Yeah, so obviously I told my ACL that took 8 months to get the surgery, and then it was like a full 9-month recovery. And then I felt pretty good from the ACL. Then it led to other injuries, and it has just been a nightmare. Especially after that 9 months, I thought, right, champion, 9 months done, knee feels good, let's get back to it. So the day that I wanted to fight just kept getting pushed back. So, but now, like, I feel like I'm in a good place, and this fight in December is sort of like the perfect timing.
Like you say, you are back, and it will be in front of a local crowd at Made for the Cage as they make their return as well, of course, to the domestic scene. How excited are you to be coming back? You're straight back into a headline spot, and it's in front of a Northeast crowd.
Oh, it couldn't have really been planned any better, really, could it? I always manage to get a good home support, so I'm looking forward to everyone cheering on again. And obviously, being main event, I can't complain with that either. So I'm looking forward to putting on a good show for them.
The bout itself then against Frederik Strauss, I mean, it's funny when you look at it because Frederik hadn't made his pro debut when you last fought. And in that time, he's now had 6 fights. So I guess it's funny when I've seen that less activity. What do you sort of know on him? Because for me, I think it's a relative unknown opponent, which can throw up its own problems.
Like you say, we've watched him. We know that he's from a very credible gym. They've got fighters in the UFC and stuff like that. So obviously, they're no joke of a gym. They're a very good gym. He's I know he's ranked, like Scotty told us the other day, he's ranked like 14th in Scandinavia or something. So he's a decent, credible opponent. Obviously, coming from a good gym, you know that he's gonna be game and he's gonna bring it. He looks like he's got a good gas tank, and like you say, he's not afraid to push forward. So it's going to make for a good scrap, I think.
We touched on the timing out there before. How did you know now was the right time and now is when you're ready to come back?
My body, my body was like, right, I think you're okay now. You can go ahead with fight camp if you want. But yeah, just like it was like I've done lots and lots of rehab. Like I'm still rocking up to the gym like 45 minutes early just to have a good stretch, just to try and prevent everything. And then, like you say, eventually it all just fell into place. I'm constantly getting massages and stuff like that. I'm ice bathing, I'm sauna, like in the sauna. I'm literally doing everything I can. And I feel like now, because I've done all that, my body's now thanking me for it, and I can get a fight camp in.
Obviously, we've touched there then on the physical side, but the mental side and the rebuild from that. Look, you were facing Dominic Wooden. Ultimately, that was your last fight there before the injury. But you went and seen Dom went and won the belt at 135. Now he signed with PFL. How frustrating of a time has it been for you over this last 2 years in the recovery?
That's exactly it. And it's even seeing like everyone else progressing. I just hate the fact knowing that people who I'm going to be facing, they're able to progress their skills and I'm not. Do you know what I mean? So that actually puts me behind, and I don't want to be behind. I want to be ahead. So, and then don't get me wrong, I like to see everyone do well. Like, fair play to Dom for going on and winning the belt and getting signed to PFL. I'm happy for him. Do you know what I mean? But it does give you that extra, like, kicking the balls, like, fucking hell, like that should be me. But like you say, you can just use that as fuel for the fire and just get back as best you can.
Of course, that was your first big opportunity as well on a big show when you'd signed that multi-fight deal on Cage Warriors. How gutted were you as well that the injury, I think, for you at the time couldn't have came at much of a worse time, could it?
Nah, honestly, well, I wouldn't care. Before the knee, I actually was meant to fight Josh Reed and I snapped a tendon in my thumb. So I had to pull out of that because the doctor said otherwise my thumb will be like that for the rest of my life. So I thought, well, that's not worth doing. And then it was literally 2 months after I recovered from that my knee went. So And then obviously with a big opportunity with Cage Warriors, I think it was like 7 fights in 13 months. Like that's what I want to be doing. I want to be active, and because I remember when I was doing that, like it was almost like you weren't in a fight camp apart from cutting weight, because you were just ready. You were sharp. You were constantly sharp. You were constantly fit, and that's what I want to get back to.
You mentioned the weight there. Of course, this is catch weight about 139 pounds. I'm guessing then this is going to be one back, and then you'll be straight back down to bantamweight.
Yeah, well, we were gonna do bantam anyway, and it was going to be it was them who actually asked for the 63. I'm guessing from coming over from Denmark and stuff like that. And to be fair, I'm not too fussed. First one back 63. It probably works better in my favour as well. Like it is 63 kilo, because obviously 2.5 years, it's a long time. I want to make sure that I can get back down there and stuff like that. So it probably works out even better for me, and then look for bantamweight after that.
You're fighting, of course, out of SBG, Bishop Auckland, UFC, Davy Grant leading the charge there. In a funny way, I guess, you'd struggle to find a better placed coach for somebody like you. Davy's had long-term injuries before himself. I know when he got his arm done, when he got caught in that triangle command bar in Manchester,
Yeah.
for a long, long time. How supportive has Davy been for you through this journey? And what's it been like to have somebody there who's been through a similar experience?
Like I say, he's been absolutely amazing, because I think in this sport, Davey's been through absolutely everything you can imagine. So he knows exactly what you're going through, how you're feeling, and he just knows how to pick you up, make you feel better. Like, look, don't worry about this. We'll do this. Or you're feeling this because of this. And like I say, there isn't a better role model for the gym than Davey, because he's just been there and done absolutely everything.
I know, of course, you fought on Made for the Cage in the past. So if we can just touch on that then for a minute. How nice is it to see a show like that coming back in, making that come back at the same time as you?
Oh, you know what? I'm absolutely buzzing, especially to be coming back and headlining it. I always loved fighting on there, Made for the Cage. It was always a good atmosphere. Everyone around you was sound. It was just run very, very well. So I'm looking forward to getting back. And like the lads as well, we done like a bit of promo for Made for the Cage yesterday, and Scotty was getting excited for me when I was speaking. He was getting excited for getting the show back. Do you know what I mean? And that's what you want, isn't it? Like, you want someone who wants the fighters to thrive and wants the fighters to do well from it. So it makes it even better that you're fighting on a show like that.
Obviously, you're not going to divulge too much of the game plan going into this, but what sort of fight are you going to look to bring here on this big return?
I want a good, tough, hard fight. I want a good scrap. And like I say, he comes forward, so I know that it'll be a good scrap. And I don't even think there'll be nerves on the day. I'll just be that excited to get back in there and just get to it. It's going to be good.
I know we've said, obviously, you always bring a good home support, but away from that fan support, the sponsorship support, I know there's been a couple of sponsors that have stayed with you throughout your injuries.
Yeah.
If you want to sort of give them a shout out, because ultimately they've, I guess, meant that you've only had to do maybe a bit of work here and then really could focus on recovery.
Yeah, obviously you've got the Luxury Bed Company, who's one of my best mates. He always said, I will always support you. So knowing that you've got that in the back of your head, it means the absolute world, and it does take a lot off your shoulders. Do you know what I mean? And then I've got, who's in the same friendship group, my physio, John Flynn Physiotherapy. He's, for what he done for my ACL, was absolutely unbelievable. I was ahead of schedule the whole way. And it is scheduled for 9 months, but I probably could have been back doing stuff, but he just didn't rush me, constantly checked on us and stuff like that. And he was amazing. I've got 3D Strength, who constantly works around injuries to make sure that I'm still getting the workout and still keep my strength up. As soon as I was off crutches, he had me doing like upper body stuff, but making sure that everything was sound. I've got Easy Prep, the meal prep. They could have easily just sacked off and they jumped straight on with us as well. You've got Capo Management. I'm signed by Iridium, and I think off the top of my head, that's about it. So I'm, like I say, I'm buzzing that they've all stuck by me, and like I say, it means the world. Oh, and MSH, he's always constantly looked after us as well. So shout out to Michael Hill as well.
As much as you've not been in the cage yourself, I know you've been in and around it, cornering a lot of the young lads that are coming up through the ranks. And even when Davey was fighting out on the Yas Island, you had the opportunity to go over there. I think you went to Vegas with him as well. Like, What's that like, just to still be in and around the fight? I bet it's been enjoyable but frustrating at the same time, has it?
Yeah, like it was probably more frustrating getting there because I was just dying to like get to that point. But like you say, the experience from that is like not what a lot of people can say they've experienced. So for me to go and do that, it was unbelievable. I absolutely loved it, and it's something that I'll never forget.
So as we say, we are back at, well, it'll be at the point. Sorry, I was going to say Rain Meadows, but it's a change of venue. It's going to be at the point.
Yes.
What sort of fan turnout are you expecting? It's a very intimate venue, that, and you know that if the crowd get loud, that you're really going to hear it in there.
Oh, trust me, Frederik's going to hear my own crowd. I definitely know that. I've already got loads of people asking me about tickets and stuff like that. So as soon as tickets are out, I'll be getting them sorted, and I know we'll be the biggest crowd in there.
Finally then, Cam, going into this, what can fight fans expect from Cameron Party Hardy 2.0?
A finish. A nice, beautiful finish. That's all I can say. No overtime.
Perfect. Cam, look, thank you so much for your time. We'll probably catch up again in person close at fight night, but all the best if I don't see you beforehand.
Perfect. Thank you, Jake. Pleasure speaking to you.